time, weather, and...
Hello and welcome to Driving with Todd. And I'm Todd. Hello everyone. We're going to do a request. This request comes in from my reaction and review to Santa Esmeralda doing the song Don't Let Me Be Misunderstood. The YouTuber making the request goes by the name of Argosarge. And Argosarge writes this: "Thank you, Todd, for another great review." Thank you for the nice comment. I appreciate that. "Surely the tracks you are presenting are outstanding for their time they were released, giving most of us children of the 60s and 70s a nice ride back in time, and are even up to date with remakes today. But what makes this fun, besides the most careful evaluation of the backgrounds you are providing us with in your reviews, is the enthusiastic and most passionate way you are presenting these time capsules. Just fun, and I wonder if you were professionally related in the music industry in those days." No, I always wished I was like a record producer or a promo guy or somebody who actually put together compilations that made sense. But unfortunately, that wasn't my career. Thank you very much for this. Maybe you would allow a recommendation for a review, which in my eyes would make a nice fit to your collection of reviews. Fire by the Crazy World of Arthur Brown. I think this was a one-hit wonder. The song itself is already weird, but so is the stage performance with the fire item on the head of the singer. Then I get a link to a video that I should review. Today's it appears at some sort of the early stage of pyrotechnique compared to the Rammstein shows today. Once again, thank you for your passionate reviews. Greetings from Germany." That was such a nice comment. I really appreciated that comment. And greetings from the United States back to Germany. Now, I looked up a little bit more of Crazy World of Arthur Brown. Now, my brother had bought that single in 1968, so I'm familiar with the song. I listened to it over and over again. I mean, it's just a great song. But I really didn't know much about Arthur Brown and the group Crazy World of Arthur Brown. Well, that group was formed in 1967 by Arthur Brown in the UK. And as Argosarge said, Fire was a one-hit wonder. It went to number 1 in the UK and number 2 here in the United States on Billboard's Hot 100 singles chart. It came from their first album. They actually put out 2 albums, but it was taken from their first album called The Crazy World of Arthur Brown, which also came out in 1968, as so did the single. And the album did really, really well as on the charts as well. So in the UK, that album peaked at number 2 on the UK album chart and number 7 on Billboard's pop album chart. So it did really well on the charts, considering that it's kind of a crazy album. And like I said, Fire was pulled from that album as well. And they released several other singles, but none of them did anywhere near what Fire did. They just didn't chart very well. So with that said, let's listen to a little bit of the Crazy World of Arthur Brown doing Fire. I want to just point out, I didn't use the video that was recommended. The audio is pretty soft. I found another version. It's the same video, but the audio is enhanced, so it's pumped up, because I like to pump up the volume, as they say. So here's the Crazy World of Arthur Brown doing their number 1 hit in the UK, their number 2 hit here in the United States, Fire.
I am the god of hellfire, and I bring you fire. I'll take you to burn. Fire. I'll take you to learn. I'll
Stop it right there. What I always thought was so hot about this song, get it? Hot fire. Didn't mean that, it was not intentional. But what I always thought was really cool about this song is the keyboard. The organ is just pumping in this song, and I always love that keyboard in here. And then you got a pretty heavy bass and drum as well. The rhythm section is really heavy in this as well. But that organ just sticks out so much, and I think that's what makes this song so. I don't know. It's not really psychedelic, but it's kind of almost like a hardish rock, almost a movement into the sound that was coming out later on in like Emerson, Lake and Palmer and so on, where you got the really heavy keyboards. The Nice would be another group to compare it to. And then you got Arthur Brown, and the guy's got an operatic voice. So he can go from one extreme, one low, to a high very, very quickly, as he did when he gets into the refrain and he's singing higher. And that's kind of cool because he's got such a wide range of vocals on his singing style. The other thing, too, is he was very much in the start of using like face paint and weird gimmicks on the stage. He was prior to like Alice Cooper and Peter Gabriel and so on, who did the face painting as well. And then he has that headdress on, which is I guess is actually full of gasoline to ignite the fire, or some sort of fluid. And they said that once at one show that he was at, it actually broke and fell on his head, and they had to put the fire out, but it didn't cause him any damage. I mean, that's kind of spooky if you think about it. But he was crazy, and this was the crazy world of Arthur Brown. Let's continue. Okay, that's another part I think is really cool in this song. I mean, it's a very hectic song. It's fast. Like I said, it's got that heavy keyboard in there, the bass and the drum. The drummer is especially wild in this song. And all of a sudden he stops and he does, I think that's the middle eight, what you'd call the middle eight on the song. And he slows it down and he gets real like nice sounding, really kind of soft sounding. And he sings these lines. And he gets done with that, he gets back in the song, and it takes off like a rocket. Just kind of cool how they set these songs up, and to go from that heavy, fast-paced rock, and then just to slow it down, and then bring it back up to that fast-paced rock again. How cool is that? Let's keep on going. In fact, I'm going to take it back. Right here, slows it down, slows it down.
You've been living like a little girl in the middle of your little world. And you mind your time, and you know you've really been so blind. Now's your time, put your mind, you're falling far too far behind. Ooh. Fire.
Then kicks it back in again. and an ending complete with wind. What a great song. And at the end when he's going fire and he's just going crazy, he's singing the fire, do do do, and wish you to burn, oh, the brass comes in loud and heavy. That is cool too. I love the brass in there. It just kind of explodes into the song and he's just going crazy with the vocals. Cool song. Well, not really. Fire is hot, but it is a cool song. And I just think that it was something so unique at the time. And then he does that scream in there too, near the end of the song. And if you listen to it, it's like pre-Ian Gillan. I mean, that was an Ian Gillan type of scream that you'd hear when Ian Gillan was with Deep Purple. And so he had a lot of firsts here. He had that, pre-Ian Gillan scream in there. He had the face paint. He had the headdress that was on fire. Heavy keyboards, giving it that kind of Emerson, Lake and Palmer feel, or nice feel, Keith Emerson type feel. Great drumming, great bass. There was just a lot of cool stuff in this song, and it was just so unique as well. His vocal style was very, very unique on this song. So for it to get into the charts, go to number 1 in the UK, go to number 2 here in the United States, to me that's amazing. But it's one of those songs, you hear it and it grabs you, and you got to hear it again. You got to go, what did I just hear that right? I got to hear it again. I mean, it was just so unique for the time. Great song, great recommendation, fun to watch. I'd never seen this video before. A fun video. A little piece too. The original drummer had left, and then they picked up Carl Palmer to do a U.S. tour. And so Carl Palmer was also in the crazy world of Arthur Brown, and later went on, I think, to Atomic Rooster, and then to Emerson, Lake and Palmer. So he had a lot of great artists backing him up in his band as well. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you enjoyed this, hit that like button. That'd be really, really cool. I'd really, really appreciate that. If you have any comments about the crazy world of Arthur Brown doing the song Fire, put in the comments below. That'd also be really appreciated. Now I'm going to take a link to this video, put it into my description below. So if you want to hear it and watch it again, because it is great. This brought back a lot of memories. I haven't heard this song in ages, so it brought back a lot of memories. I'm sure, hopefully it brought back some memories for you. If you want to watch it again, click on that link. It'll open up and play for you. I'm also going to put a link to the channel that upload this video into my description below. And that channel is Smurf Tools. I've used a lot of their videos in the past. They do a wonderful job of cleaning up the video and cleaning up the audio. So I put their link into my description. If you want to check them out and see what else they have to offer, click on that link. It'll take you to their channel and check it out. Now, have you subscribed to Driving with Todd? If you haven't, why don't you do it right now? Go below my video, I know you still have it open, and hit that subscribe button, and you'll be making me very happy. If you go over here and ring the bell, you'll get updates to my latest videos. What a great recommendation. Yeah, I read this recommendation when I got it. I believe it was like in January of this year. And it's like, yeah, I got to do that one of these days. And then I get a lot of recommendations, and finally it was like, I remember getting one for Fire. I got to do that. And it was wild. It put a big smile on my face. I'm hoping to put a big smile on your face. And peace out, baby.